Hey everyone, it's Amanda with Ironwell Dog Training. This is Albie. He's a teddy bear Bernedoodle from Rocky Mountain Bernedoodles. He just got done with the puppy doctorate program, which is for 5 months. He has done fantastic, very happy-go-lucky dog. We're very, very happy with him and can't wait to get him home to his family in Georgia. So thank you so much and enjoy the video. Okay, so I'm gonna go over Albie's commands real quick. So he knows sit, he knows down, he knows place. Place is, a really good command to have because, we usually do it like on a dog bed, a cot, like the one over there. And the cots are nice because they can lay on them. And it's breathable, and these guys tend to get, dogs with more hair tend to just get way too hot. So they tend to like come off the dog beds and they're wanting to get on like, this type of flooring or tile. But they love the cots because they're breathable, and that's on the supplies on my website to get. Or if we're out in town, we tell them to get up on a rock or a bench. Or if you guys are at home and you're making dinner or sitting down for dinner, and you didn't want to like put him in his crate or whatever, but he has to have a place to go to. Like, he does not need to be sitting next to you or sitting or laying down under the table while you're eating. That is your space. You need to own your space all the time. So he needs to have his place to go to, and he does not need to be around you guys during that time. So that, that command helps with, things like that, so he can do that. And then load up is for in the car. So you just open the door, he waits till you tell him to go in, and just say load up, so he can go in from the side or the back, and we'll show that later on in the video. And and then kennel, you just say kennel if you want him to go in there. And then okay is a release command. I'll just go over that. And then heel for when you're walking, and we showed that earlier. So, and then stay is another one. So stay, you just hold your, the palm out and, to where he sees it. And he knows that well. Down. Good boy. So when you're praising him, you can say good boy, or you can say yes, and that's all you need to do. And we have, he does not have to have a treat when you tell him something. We slowly fade those out. We use them when they're a lot younger, when they're little pups. And then we just fade him out. He should not, he does not look for a treat. That's not necessary. But what's important is, and he knows what good boy means, or yes, and see, he perks up when I say that. So that's good enough. And then you can give him a pet, if you want to, and that's good. But you really want, it's important to have the eye contact. If you're always giving your dog a treat when they do something, they're gonna look to your hand and to the treat and not you. And that's very important to just have, instead of them looking to your, for the treat, it's important to have the eye contact. He's looking to me, that practicing nose, eyes, ears, very, very important. So, so you can do either, you can do down at a distance like I just did, or, when you're up next to him, he'll do down. So, and it doesn't matter how far away I am. When he's at sit, I can just keep going, and then when I point down, and I don't even have to say it, and he'll do it. A lot of times I like to snap my fingers, it's just, and if I don't want to like say it, so, and he knows the hand signals well, so. Out of place. Good. And place means place, so, you shouldn't have to tell him to stay. I mean, you can if you would like, but place is place, so he can move around on the place area as much as he wants. but he cannot come off of it until you release him. So, I mean, if he wanted to get up and just move around or play with a toy on it, or get comfortable, that's totally fine. He usually just sleeps on it like that, and but just make sure that you keep doing that with him. But then if he, he's gonna make mistakes sometimes, you're gonna make mistakes sometimes. So if he ever does, come off of it, or if he doesn't follow through with a command, do not give up, do not get frustrated, stay calm and assertive, and you need to follow through. If you don't follow through, with what you're telling him to do, then you just let him get away with it, then he'll remember that, and then it'll become a habit, and then he'll just quit doing it for you. So just make sure that you follow through with everything that you're telling him to do, and don't ask him, tell him, So if you're gonna ask him and not be calm and assertive about it, and serious, rather it's, just telling him to do a command or correcting him on something, he's not gonna take you seriously. So make sure that you are calm and assertive all the time, and he's taking you seriously, and you're following through, and so on. And then when you do come with him, just say, Albie, come, and then you can even clap your hands. Just always make that exciting. And if he ever is to say chase after something, or if he's running from you for some reason, do not ever chase after him. Don't ever chase after a dog. So make sure that you get down to his level, or you just start going the other direction, because he's gonna want to come back to you. He's not gonna want to, run off. I mean, he's a well-trained dog, and so he knows that he needs you, and he would never, go away from us, because, we are, we're safe to him, so he wants to stick with us. But just get down to his level if that ever happens, and just tell him, I'll become, and as soon as he turns to look at you, when he gives you the eye contact, tell him, good, don't ever be harsh about it, just keep it positive, and then he'll start coming back. But if you're harsh about it or scaring him, then, that's what makes a dog, go the other direction. So just be careful with that. But that should never be an issue, but if it ever is, that's what you need to do. Oh, good. Oh, good. 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 Stay. Down. Good. Good. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Good. And that's another thing to do, is when he does come to you and he does the auto sit, I wait until he does that, and I do not give him a pet until, he does that. So just wait before you, affection is always last, so don't ever do that before anything. Albie, Kim. Good. Good. Albie, come on. Good, please. Good boy. And he's super tired right now, which is what I like. So a tired dog is a happy dog. And I like to just get him, I make the come, really positive, and get him excited. But he's been very well exercised already this morning. It's still early, I mean, it's not even noon yet. But that's what, this is how he should be. He should just be exhausted, mentally, physically drained. And if he's, and that's something that you need to remember daily, is if something is going on, if he's not doing things right, if he's not wanting to listen to you, if he's just out of control for some reason, you need to, it's because you're not doing something right. So you're going to have to, you guys have to make sure that he's getting plenty of exercise before anything. First thing in the morning, at night, even midday, or if there's like a park you can take him to, even a doggy daycare. Make sure he has stuff to play with and stuff to do. That's very, very important. So, okay, so I'm just going to go over Albie's crate ritual and how you need to, do this with him every single day. So the command is just kennel, Albie, kennel, good. He's pretty tired right now because he's had a lot of exercise today, so Albie, kennel, good. So all you say is kennel, and then if you can close the door or you can leave it open. It's whatever you want. We leave it open a lot of the time, especially if we're just, here hanging out at home, and so he can just go in and out. Or if we want him to stay in there, he has to stay in there until we, release him to come out. They're very, very comfortable in their crate. Scout over there, same way. It's their bedroom, their den area, so this should always be positive. They should never hate this. I mean, this should be like one of their favorite places, and this is where he sleeps during the night. He sleeps all night long. He can, be in here during the day. If you guys had to leave for a while, like he can stay in here for like up to 4 to 5 hours, with no problem. But something that you do need to remember though is before you are going to, confine your dog into a small space, just make sure that you guys are getting he's getting plenty of exercise. So you guys are taking him on walks, he's getting to play in the backyard or take him to the park or whatever, and just like really, get him tired. That's very important. If you guys are going to be on for a long period of time, and even for at night, so that he can just sleep all night, so that he's not just like stir crazy. But he does great, even if he hasn't had much exercise. I mean, he's just like, pretty chill. I mean, they love their crates. But one thing that I do want to go over, I get asked this a lot, is, when you come home, when you come back home, or even when you get up first thing in the morning, before you open this gate, make sure that he is totally calm. So and that he's calm submissive. So the mind has to be calm submissive before you do whatever you're gonna do. So before he comes out, he has to be calm submissive, just like this. He cannot be super excited or whatever. So if he is super excited, you need to, correct him on that, and you need to wait. Do not open the door until the mind is calm, submissive. If you keep opening the gate when he's super excited, then you're going to create that habit of him, acting like that, or if he starts like jumping at the gate or, whatever, and just bolting right out, because dogs are a creature of habit. So you really have to watch what you do every moment, every single moment that whatever you're doing with him. So you need to stay calm and assertive. He needs to stay calm, submissive. So just keep that in mind. So don't ever create that. I mean, he does amazing on it right now. He doesn't bolt out or run in, or this has to be a calm, positive experience, and never use this as a punishment. So this is all supposed to be good. Also, when rather he's in the crate or out of the crate, the bones, so we just get like the rawhide bones. These are like the braided ones, but it is good to like supervise them on these, depending on it. Albie is a pretty big chewer, so he will chew stuff up. He has chewed up some toys that were actually pretty durable, so we do have to watch him. So he's got some pretty sharp chompers on him. But definitely make sure that, he's still in the teething stage, so make sure that he always has the chewing toys available to him. Stuffed animals are okay, but you kind of have to watch those because if they, you know, pull the stuffing out, so just supervise them on those. Kong, Nylabone are also very good. I love Nylabone. They have a lot of really good stuff. Kong, you can put like peanut butter in those, you know, freeze them overnight, give it to them the next day, like if you're going to be gone for a bit and you want them to have, you know, something like that. I mean, and it's good to keep their, you know, mentally to keep them stimulated. You know, they need to chew, you know, they like doing that. Antlers are also really good, but that's all on our website. The ropes and the tires are good, or like a ball, but I would still supervise him with a ball because he has tried to, you know, he's popped those in the past and tried to chew those up too. So his, yeah, he is a pretty big chewer. So but just on the toys, he won't, you know, he's not allowed up on the furniture or anything like that, so he does great with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the crate, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna demonstrate the leash with Albie. So we usually use just the slip leads during the training with these guys. So this is what it looks like. And this is the little keeper right here. So you just put it around his neck. And before you put the leash on, that's another thing. Make sure that he is calm, submissive, just like this. You know, he cannot be excited or jumping around or anything like that. Like, you need to always make sure his mind is in a he's in a calm state of mind. It should never be excited. You don't want him out of control because that's just going to get worse and worse. So just like that, and you need to have it up behind the ears, just like that, up closer to the head, and then just bring that keeper down. And you still want to leave about, you know, like 2 to 3 inches there, you know, so that when it's loose, you know, the loose leashes reward, so don't just have it tied up to his neck, you know, because if it's tight, then they get confused, and you know, and if you're always pulling tension on it, your energy travels through the leash, and then it's going to be a mess. So loose leash always. They should always be in a U shape, and he is totally completely trained on and off leash. He knows what heel means, so there's no reason for him to, you know, you to be, you know, pulling him to be pulling you. He's got it down. So you just say heel. Or even if you just start walking, you know, he knows what to do. Heel. Good. So just like that. And I'm like, you know, this leash is just here for security. I mean, he doesn't actually need it, you know, about, you know, 99% of the time. You know, so and then he has the auto sit. And I just barely have to, it's just there. You know, you don't have to, like, you know, don't be wrapping it around and getting all crazy with it. I mean, he knows what to do. So now it's up to you. You know, you need to make sure to keep up with this. So just heel. Good boy. And when you pet him, you know, we like to pet him underneath the chin like that, so it makes him feel proud. You know, for him it's good, but like the dogs that are like super high energy that just can't contain themselves, it's better to pet them up on top to bring them down a little bit. But you know, he's a really good dog, so he's kind of all together. He kind of has a whole bunch of different personalities, so he's great. So if you need to correct him on the leash, it's just a pop and release. So we usually, and make sure it's to the side of pop and release, or up pop and release. Never pull back. If you just keep pulling back, then you're gonna get the tug of war effect. So he's just gonna it's just gonna get worse and worse. So make sure that you know, when you need to correct him. So if he's getting ahead of you, if he's like fixated on something like a squirrel or whatever, if that were to happen, if he's like veering off, you know, going to another dog or someone, if that ever happens, you know, just make sure to do the pop and release, and that's it. But always release. Never just, you know, don't keep holding it. Or if there's like an aggressive dog, you know, coming by, you know, anything like that, you just need to keep walking. Like, don't stop and think about it, just keep going, because a dog's mind has to keep moving forward. So if you don't keep him moving forward, then they're going to get confused, and then it's the anxiety sets in, the nervousness, and, you know, with you as well. So just keep going, you know, don't, you know, and if he does get scared about something, or if something happens, you know, like if he, I don't know, like if he falls off of something, or if he accidentally gets like, you know, slapped by something like a tree, you know, or something like that, if you're walking on the sidewalk, you know, anything like that, anything, you know, that is traumatized. I mean, don't even think about it that way. Just keep him moving forward. Just keep going, and keep, you know, putting him in front of the stuff that, you know, he's unsure of, you know, and then they'll just get better and better, and just reassure him, you know, keep it positive, you know, good boy, you know, and don't just be like, oh, well, he doesn't like that, so we better not, you know, go to that area anymore. Or he doesn't, you know, like that spot, so we shouldn't go there. You know, don't ever do that. You know, that don't humanize him. He is a dog, and if you treat your dog like a human, he's gonna treat you like a dog. So, you know, just make sure to, you know, practice that all the time. But it's super simple. Heel. Good. Good. Heel. Good. So just like that.